This episode was recorded July 22nd, 2023. Please enjoy.
Hey everybody, welcome to the July Q&A for the Unbeatable podcast Patreon question and answer video that we're doing right now. We're just going to jump right into it. I'm just kidding. No, but How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are having a great day. We have questions in our Patreon Discord sorry, I had to make that a longer sentence. That you can go into there and ask questions once you subscribe to the Patreon and get access to things. You get access to a Discord server where you can throw a bunch of really cool questions in there. And then we can answer them in a video form like we're doing now. So imagine
Wait, is that what we're
next
doing?
month, you put a question in there and then we read your question, answer it. That'd be kind of cool. I think so. But also we have a Patreon/Discord if you don't know and you're just completely strange to the Unbeatable format entirely. So hop over there and ask us a question. We're going to kick off the question and answer segment with a question and hopefully an answer. The first question we have comes from, should we read it by their Discord names? Or should we
Sure.
Okay. All right. So first one we have is from Trinam, which they ask, have you considered having guest appearances? Question.
Have we considered having guest appearances?
Oh yeah, for sure. Have we recorded stuff with guest appearances? Yeah, sure. Have we published it yet? No. Will we? Yes. Have we? No.
What month did we record that in?
There's a lot
Don't ask me
happening.
that. Don't ask me that question. I don't know,
so
man.
many
That was
months ago. I feel like
a
it was so
long
many months
time
It was
ago.
March.
Oh,
Yeah,
It's
currently
July right now.
it's July because this is the July Q&A questionnaire and answer. So we're working on it. We're working on it, but we have.
Clear.
And also a thing to note as well, if we come up across a question that we don't have the time to answer in the video, we're going to answer it in the Discord, so you'll still have
We
your
did
question
talk about
answered. It's always good to just have redundancies. So if your question already has an answer there, we could still potentially talk about it, but in most cases it's already answered. We're going to jump to another question, unless you're pointing at me for something.
Oh no, I was saying Burrty had it to be clear that I wanted to check
I was
back
gonna
in
say,
on.
to be clear,
Oh, clear yourself.
we haven't had a guest appearance in the primary campaign.
That's true. The thing we did do was a one shot. That's accurate actually. The
Ooh.
main
We've
campaign.
had players on the channel that aren't the three of us.
And actually, on that note, I did make the decision pretty early on because we had talked about having guest appearances in the main campaign. I did make the decision pretty early on to not do to not do guest appearances in the main game. But that's always changeable. I'm never gonna say that I'm gonna have a consistent opinion between multiple months. So it is what it is.
The reason why we're never going to have guest appearances is because the overlay can't accommodate for 5 people.
Well, hey, we're looking at
That's the
changing the
reason.
overlay anyway, so it is what it is.
That
Never.
literally is just Burrty saying, I don't want to make another overlay right now. So no. That's really funny. I will actually jump off of that question, and instead of going to the one I was originally going to read, there was a different question that kind of relates to the guest person thing. It's from Star-Lord. I'm sorry. Alien emoji, Star-Lord, alien emoji. They asked, would you ever consider adding a Patreon member as a temporary character? They get on call with you and role play along during a battle or event.
So, for the show, no. We did talk about at one point potentially doing patron play rewards. That is not currently on the table, nor is it near happening. That is one of those things where it's maybe in the far, far future when we have time and money and the ability to do this regularly. For now, though, people got day jobs. People got things they're doing. We barely managed to squeak in our own normal games. Getting in a patron to a game is another person that we have to schedule. A whole list of complications we got to have. Plus, all of these people, as much as they might seem very nice online, are all just introverts. They're so shy. They're so
The closest
shy.
I could
Yeah,
say
shy,
as
shy.
it being like a possibility would be I would say maybe a landmark thing. We just hit 700. I don't know if it's gonna happen if we hit 1,000. That'd be dope though. But let's for the sake of getting us to a number. Let's say it's at 1,000, and then we'll think about it when we hit 1,000.
We'll think
Let's go
about
with
it.
that.
We're not
We'll
guaranteeing
think about
anything.
it. It's not guaranteeing anything, but we'll think
The
about it
hard
when we
think
hit
about.
1,000. A hard think at 1,000. So if you have a friend that isn't already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe.
tell them
I want
to
to do that
to
thing in
subscribe.
YouTube videos where it's like, oh, hey, it looks like a percentage of you guys aren't subscribed.
Right.
But
It's
really,
like-
everyone who's watching is pretty much subscribed, so it's kind of hard to
Listen.
say that.
We're not
Um,
even asking you to hit the bell. We're just asking for this.
Oh, I forgot we have a bell. Yeah, don't worry about the bell. We're not worried about that. We're trying to hit we're actually at 7:04. I lied. Dang.
Way to
that's
date this
cool.
video. When this video comes out, we're gonna be so much
Hey,
higher than that.
You
What if
don't
we're
know.
at
You don't know.
1,000?
Someone could have subscribed. We could have already hit 1,000 by the time we've edited this and put it up, and then everyone just unsubscribed because of something. So I feel like there's always
don't
room for
speak
potential.
that
There's
into
room
the
for
world.
potential.
Bring that back. Bring that back.
What were you
out
saying,
of the
Burrty?
world.
This is like when your parents are like, if you do all your chores, we might take you to McDonald's, and then you do all your chores, and they're like, we didn't promise
Hey, and you-
anything.
And you didn't go to McDonald's that day, but eventually in your life they did take you to McDonald's.
Good point.
So,
I've never been to McDonald's with my parents. I don't know what you're talking about. It's never happened, not
Mm.
once.
well, that was a lie. Okay, so yeah, get us to 1,000 and we'll think about it. That'd be cool.
Y'all are thinking so small. I'm like, bro, let us hit 10K. 10K, then I'll do it.
You got 10K money? Where's that coming from? Where you gonna get 10K from?
10? No, not 10K monies. 10K subs.
Yeah, but time is money, and I don't got that time.
I'll take
That's
10K
fair.
money.
Get to 10K.
Let's go in.
I'm taking the slow route. But to jump away from that, another question that's very cool is from Vendramon. Any thoughts on how you would do shadow Pokemon in the game? Shadow Pokemon, which I imagine are from XD Gale of Darkness, were the Pokemon that were like tainted by shadows that you could then defeat and then capture. It was actually one of the only games that you could capture other trainers' Pokemon. Most of the time they were bad guys, so like you would like steal them from the bad guys to then make them better, and then like you get a Pokemon, which that makes anyone's I want to be a Team Rocket member fantasy just explode and be really cool. But I could also be completely wrong on the entire concept of that. I'm hoping I'm right. Though.
No, you nailed
I'm
that. That's what a shadow
Speaking
Pokemon
with
is.
confidence.
That's-
Okay, sick.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, they're just Pokemon that have been infected with darkness in their hearts, and you gotta like steal them from other people so that you can go cleanse them. I don't know how I would do shadow Pokemon.
So when we hit 1,000, we'll think
Shut
about it. That's gonna be our new answer.
No, we're
We'll
gonna
take
be
it
at
to McDonald's.
1,000 so quickly. We're on our way
When we
there.
hit 1,000, we're gonna be
Yeah,
thinking
and then
about
we're
a
gonna be
lot.
like, when we hit 2,000, we'll think of it and just keep it going. Keep moving Have you guys played football? It's like you move the goalpost a little bit further out.
First down.
There's no goalposts in football. There's only 2 goals.
Still have goalposts, like the field goal.
Yeah, sports
That's
ball.
considered a goalpost.
No. There's first of all, there needs to be a ball in football, which the
There
thing that
is.
you're talking about doesn't have a ball.
Oh
It's a
my
weird
gosh! Answer the
oblong
question.
thing.
I don't care anymore. I concede to this dumb argument.
As for how we
I'll
do
answer
Shadow
it.
Pokemon,
Yeah, shadow Pokemon are cool. Just when the sun's not out, they're shadow Pokemon because of the shade. Easy answer.
that's not okay. Cool. Cool. I honestly don't know how we mechanically do
That's
Shadow
how you
Pokemon.
answer.
I've never looked at it before, not once. I could look
I-
into it, but I don't understand why we would.
I would imagine if we were to do shadow Pokemon stuff, it would be like, you know how in games there's like an event where it's like, hey, you start the event and it changes the world state temporarily.
Yeah.
It's like that if we were to do something with it, because I think it's too complicated of a thing to exist in the world as a whole while we're just off doing our own little shenanigans to then have to worry about that as a thing. If it was like a temporary one-shot something where like we had to go battle some people or like battle some evil organization that were dealing in shadow Pokemon, and like the professor gave us these shadow Pokeballs to try and capture them and like cleanse them and help them as like a whole one-shot thing, that probably makes sense. Kind of like how we talked about the Pokemon like mystery dungeon type thing. Like the system could accommodate it. It's a matter of just using your brain power to explain a reason for it to exist, and that's about it. So it's possible, and we could show you it's possible if we hit 1,000 subscribers. I don't know, but regardless, it's pretty. Anything can happen. The game's made up. The rules do matter. They do matter, but you can kind of make up however you want it to go. I think
That's genuinely the best possible answers. Yeah, the rules exist, but you could do it. Shadow Pokemon, you could figure it out. It's not hard.
It sounds like a cool
Take the shader.
premise for like a whole campaign.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, you'd run like an XD or Coliseum kind of game where you're like you go to Ore and you have to deal with all that. That'd be fun. That'd be a fun thing to do. We're not doing it anytime soon. I'm finishing this shit out first.
Yeah. As you heard before, our other one-shot thing that we've recorded with a guest character was done in March. So if you ask us to do more things, you're not going to see it until
We hit 10,000
Next year.
subs. We might take you all
10,000
McDonald's.
subs. We'll do it day up. We'll live shoot the whole thing. Don't quote me on that. Okay. Next question is coming from Oni.
Oh, Oni Deity. What's up, Oni?
Deity.
Big fan of Oni Deity.
They said, ooh, adding on to that, how would you do alpha or delta Pokemon, differently typed Pokemon, mostly in the TCG?
So I actually do have some
What the
experience
fuck
with,
is
some,
an alpha
with
or
Delta
delta
Pokemon. So this is a
Differently typed Pokemon in the
This is-
TCG,
this
apparently.
is a card game specific thing where basically they had an expansion a while ago called EX Delta Species, I think was what it was called. But basically they introduced the idea that there are Pokemon that are different types than they normally would be. And it's not like a regional thing, it's like a thing that they just do. So like, for example, there was like I think there was a Charmander that was like a electric type, and there was like a Pikachu that was like a steel type and stuff like that. I would just do that. I mean, I might look at like different moves to add on to their normal base set, but for the most part, the way Unbeatable is set up is type is just an indicator, and you can change it out pretty easily.
I think a good example, because I talked with Aaron about potentially having this be something that you could just, again, work in flavor-wise. It's already existed in the Pokemon universe, but like when Ash's Gengar trained with Infernape and then learned Fire Punch just by proxy of just hanging out and training together, I was like, oh, that's cool, do that. And then like it was explained in the show and it made sense. So like, why couldn't you just do that in a game? And stuff like this, it could make sense. So like, again, the game's made up. Whatever you want to have happen can potentially happen, just as long as we hit 1,000 subscribers. So I think
Plugging it hard.
that's a pretty good answer, though. I would say that you gave Aaron. So
There we go. That's
good.
it. It's so good.
Next question comes from Yamato _ Hikaru. And their question was, besides Pokemon, what other series would you guys want to do TTRPGs of aside from One Piece? That's my answer. Take it away, guys.
Ooh, so many anime just popped up.
And
Holy
zero popped
God.
up in Burrty's head. It's crazy the way that happened. The delineation of where
I got it.
popped up.
Just, Burrty, move your mouth, and then we'll just dub over like
No.
Castlevania or
Well,
something.
they also
like that.
didn't say
Castlevania.
anime TTRPG, just series in general.
Yeah, no, it's just a series.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Gilmore Girls. No, I'm kidding.
Yes. Wait, I would
That
play
would
that.
honestly-
Ooh,
Yeah.
No, Golden
Like a
Girls.
Vampire the Masquerade type
Golden
thing,
Girls.
but
Yes.
Gilmore Girls.
But Gilmore Girls.
Ooh, it's interesting. Any series ever. Ted Lasso.
It's just soccer.
That's the
Everybody
softest
gets-
way of blue
Just
lock.
playing what's the soccer game? Doesn't matter anyway.
Football.
Like Sabutio?
No. Like the video
FIFA?
game. FIFA. Thank you. I
Okay.
was gonna say Madden, but that would have been really ignorant.
Hey,
If you
what's
want to play
football?
FIFA as a TTRPG, look up Sabutio.
What?
So there is one.
The psychic damage that Kenna just fucking inflicted to me on so
welcome.
many levels
You're
fucked me
welcome.
up.
Just send me the bill for your therapist.
I don't have a therapist. I'm broke.
Shit.
You can just forward it to me. I'm fine. I'll take it.
Honestly. Ooh, nope, not that one. Nope, never mind. Ooh, yes, actually. That one time I was reincarnated as a slime.
That would be a good one. That'd be
Ooh.
a fun one.
You just gather powers by eating people.
Burrty, I'll
Horizon.
show it to you later. Log Horizon would be great as well. I actually started working on a Log Horizon one for a while.
That's why I
And then Burrty, I'm gonna show you that time I got reincarnated as a slime later, and you're gonna
You
go,
would
what
enjoy
the fuck
that.
is this show?
I think you would like that a lot.
I think you'd
I
have a great time with
genuinely
it.
think you would enjoy it.
Oh,
Besties with a storm dragon.
what would I
Yeah,
like to
it's
play
so
as a
good.
TTRPG?
Spoilers for episode 1.
Oh shit.
You don't know. You don't know.
Burrty's thunking.
I'm gonna put little
I'm thinking real
100%
hard.
emojis next to questions we answered. So I don't-
Bachelorette.
You're not far off where my brain's at right now.
Love Island.
No.
So like I was at the villa and Samantha, she was looking pretty fit, so
Pretty fit.
decided to hey, let's battle or something. I don't know.
I know, yeah, like I want
you
to play
guys
something that's
can't.
like a lot, like, really strong social element to it, rather than something that's got like a
Sims.
lot of fighting.
Okay,
Um,
that's super valid.
So
What social shows do you watch?
Okay, hear me
Wait,
out
is it
here.
social
Hear me
with
out.
fighting?
With no.
Any of the Real
I love
Housewives
fighting.
series as a TTRPG sounds like
Bro,
it would be
absolutely,
fantastic.
I would play that shit in a
man.
heartbeat. I would play
know what would
that
be-
shit.
I feel like something that would make a very large splash in like the TTRPG space is doing like a large one shot like that, where it's like the real tabletop spouse is a fantasy or something like that, and I think people would just eat that up.
The Real Housewives
that's
of the Forgotten
a great
Realms.
idea.
I'd
Yeah.
fucking watch the shit.
Oh, the real
That'd be real.
no, it's too gendered. I was gonna say the real spouse wives, but that wouldn't make sense.
No, I'll
You
go
replaced the
on as a
wrong
male
word.
wife, that's fine.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, it's because it's the housewives thing is such a.
I'm gonna make a
gendered term,
character
but-
with thick buns and an apron. It doesn't matter what gender they are.
The Real House
And they're a
Spouses of
baker.
the Forgotten Realms.
House spouses. There we go.
Ooh, I like that.
I'm itching to answer this next question because I've been staring at it on the list.
Cool. Okay. So we're gonna not do that one because
Fuck!
there's a question that is attached to what Yamato just asked, and it was Magma Grunt William. Going off of Yamato's question, a friend of mine wants help making a TTRPG based on Naruto. I have the most experience out of my friends homebrewing classes, races, monsters, etc. For Dungeons and Dragons / Pathfinder, but I've never made a TTRPG before. Do you guys have any advice on making a TTRPG from scratch?
Okay, I was
Ellie?
really scared that question was going to be based off of Naruto because I have not sat through Naruto yet. I can
How
sit
would
through.
you stat out
either.
the inner gates?
Hold
Well, so
on.
that's the one
The
where when you
inner
open the
gates.
ninth. When you open the ninth one, you die, right? After you go super powerful, or is it the
As
eighth
far
one?
as I mean, potentially, I don't want to speak on it further because I don't want to spoil the show.
Okay.
But yeah, you die.
Is that what happens? I don't know. I've never watched Naruto. I don't know what.
I don't watch the show. Watch the show. I don't
The
know.
eyes.
Burrty, I'm as lost as you are.
How would
I
you
If you don't
start?
care about
suggest-
spoilers, just Google Guy Sensei. That'll give you an answer.
I'm not the person
Somebody-
who's making the
Kashi?
TTRPG here, but I would suggest not jumping to homebrewing your entire game straight away. I would
Straight
look
away.
at different systems to Dungeons and Dragons, like some of the more open world systems, like like open systems like GURPS, and maybe masks would be appropriate for Naruto. Again, I don't know Naruto, but I know there's lots of like
Naruto.
superpower stuff going on. Masks might work.
It's a
I think
lot
Mask
of-
could work. Mask could work pretty well. Yeah.
It's a lot of like, like different classifications for powers, and then specialized powers within those classifications,
Mhm.
and regionisms, if you will.
So yeah, I would say take a look at what's out there, because there's lots of generic role-playing systems that already have very robust rules that are designed to be spun into whatever kind of theme and setting you want. Aaron sets out with the specific goal of wanting to create and publish a Pokemon TTRPG or Pokemon-like TTRPG.
Yeah, because when this
Um,
comes out, it is not going to be Pokemon. It is going to be a generic ass TTRPG.
Monster Pals.
But if your goal is just to play a game with your friends, or like stream a game with your friends, you don't need to make a whole game. That's a lot of legwork.
Yeah. As long as they have fun and you have somewhat of a mystified sense of rules, you're good.
But what if you really wanted to? If you really wanted to homebrew everything because you're real ambitious and you got that kind of time, where would you start?
Yeah, Aaron,
So,
take it away.
Hypothetically.
I actually want to throw out that my answer is actually going to be incredibly connected to Burrty's, but for a different reason. Because when Burrty was talking about like, oh, finding like a larger game and then building your game and everything, I didn't jump in straight to TTRPG making. It's kind of a little known fact that Burrty and I actually had a Percy Jackson like demigods series for a couple of years where we homebrewed the fuck out of D&D. It was not D&D by the time we got there. The class system was not the same. The way
We
spells and
didn't
magic worked was
have
not-
classes.
Yeah,
It was-
we like it was incredibly different from like what D&D became, and I used that as kind of the basis to, if I was now going to build a Percy Jackson game, it would be incredibly different. But that prepared me a lot for dealing with a lot of decision-making stuff that I was going to do for Unbeatable. I do, however, think that with that, if you have no experience and you want to jump straight into building a TTRPG, then what I honestly and genuinely believe is you should read as many TTRPGs as possible. There are a lot of free resources online to find TTRPGs, and a lot of them are very cheap. People play the game in different ways, and getting more examples of different systems will get you kind of the way that you want to play things. For example, we are not the only Pokemon tabletop show that exists.
What?
There are other ones. A lot of them use like either PTU, which is a game system that exists, or a lot of them have like I know that that one show, I forget their name, but they kind of are the ones who gave me the idea to do a Pokemon show in the beginning. Use like a hacked version of D&D. I genuinely think that the reason I had such an overwhelming reaction to PTU as a game was because I knew that wasn't the style of game I wanted to play, because I'd been exposed to, at that point, the game that I think has had the most influence on this, which is Kids on Bikes and Kids on Brooms, which is just another TTRPG that I highly recommend. So I genuinely think, before thinking about like, all right, I want to stat things out, I want to make a dice system, I want to do all these things, read TTRPG books. Discover the kind of TTRPG that you think would work well, and then build from there. Yes.
And building on that, when you do read those TTRPGs, question why mechanics change between them. So you mentioned in your question Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder, which are both D20 systems. There are so many TTRPG games out there that are not D20 systems. I wouldn't call Unbeatable a D20 system, because that's D20 is not any more important than any of the other dice.
We're a 7-set system.
Yeah. So there's always like, look into why certain games use the systems that they use, because you couldn't run Dungeons and Dragons with the dice system that we use in Unbeatable. And like the reasoning behind D20s and why the D20 has become so like prevalent is actually really interesting to learn about. 10 is too few outcomes, 100 is too many. Like if you use a D100, you end up dividing that into multiples of 5 anyway, and you end up with a D20. Like I found that really interesting to learn. So questioning why TTRPGs do what they do will help you make informed decisions about what system you want to use for the outcome of play.
Yeah, I think that's a really eloquent answer. That's correct. Okay. Does anyone else want to throw anything on that question, or are we moving on to the next one?
I think that was great. Good job. Next question is specifically from War Greymon, bouncing off from again that question from above regarding TTRPGs. What is your favorite Digimon?
Tanamon. Sorry.
Tanamon?
I love Togemon, which is like the big cactus with boxing gloves. So Tanamon is obviously like, what I would start with. I'd get a little Tanamon, and he'd be my little guy, and then we'd eventually get to Togemon, which is where
I'm really nostalgic from the first Digimon movie, as well as like the what was the game? It was on my PlayStation 1. Digimon.
Whoa.
Digiworld? Digimon World?
Digimon.
I thought you were trying to say a sentence for a second. And I let you just
Digimon.
do that. But no, just Greymon in general, Metal Greymon, War Greymon. Like Greymon's just so visually
Iconic.
distinct. Yeah, just so iconic. I feel like I would have a much more distinct answer if I'd played like the Digimon TTRPG. I tried playing like Cyber Sleuth and all those other games, but like it's just very slow paced, and I just couldn't handle it. So I didn't do that. But I would say, yeah, Greymon is definitely one that's just like in my head, just being like, this is super cool. Yeah. Oh, Digimon. And that's as far as I've gotten. But I'm sure if I looked at all the other ones and like really thought about it, I might have a different answer. I'm not too sure.
I'm not gonna lie, I was never super into Digimon. Like, I was around it, and sometimes I would catch the show, but I didn't ever get to play any of the games. And the only one that I can remember is, I think Agumon, which is the little T-Rex looking dude.
Yeah,
that turns
they turns on to Greymon and then War Greymon and Metal Greymon and all those fucking the little I mean, he was the Pikachu of the Digimon franchise, right?
It's so cute, though. Honestly, cutie.
I never watched or played Digimon, but I
missing
just
out.
googled
Digimon?
them. My favorite one is Burpmon. There you go. He's a little pink guy. Who
If
eats
you
a lot. That's all I know about him.
honestly, Burrty, one of the like common opinions of people who like both Pokemon and Digimon is Pokemon had the better games, but Digimon genuinely had the better show.
But Bergamon!
Yeah,
I
now you're
also
just
like
looking at a list of
Bergamon.
Digimon.
Bergamon's good too.
Digimon, the original Digimon show was such like an iconic show because one of the things it did was it put real stakes in a kid's animated show, and then it let the characters move on. It's not like the Pokemon show where Ash was around for like 20 something years. Like they age and grow up, and then you go to new kids, and it's like it's a whole thing.
Then they bring you back to the old kids, and they get really sad.
In real life.
It's good.
So, like,
Save the digital world.
here's the thing: I never
Digimon,
watched
digital
Digimon,
monsters.
but I can sing the entire theme song.
It's
Digimon
great.
fucking goes
It's
hard.
oh man, I have the CD from the Digimon movie, which technically isn't necessarily a movie. It's like 3 short films put together, but like I still love it. And if you don't like Digimon for some reason, but you like the aesthetic of it, just watch Summer Wars. It's the same thing.
Ooh.
Summer Wars is a great movie.
Summer Wars
I
is
love
just
Summer
Digimon.
Wars.
Genuinely
Reskin.
great film.
I have a funny,
Um,
I have a funny feeling that Digimon just wasn't on preview in England.
You know what?
Um,
That's actually a valid point. Actually, what?
So- I don't
What
think
is
I ever
Freeview?
would have had the opportunity to watch. Preview is the channels you get for free.
Oh, and I could have worked that out. I
Yeah.
think.
What, was Fox Kids on Freeview? Because that's the only channel. it was
No,
on.
Fox Kids is like a super American thing.
Yeah,
Well, in
no,
the United
there's no
Kingdom,
way.
Digimon first aired on Fox Kids, and it only showed the first 26
What
episodes.
do I know? At the
Yeah,
end of the
no, I
day?
wouldn't.
I don't
have.
think I know.
That would have
much.
probably
Yeah.
been on Sky, which we
Yeah.
didn't have. We couldn't afford Sky. So
That's
have it
that's
now,
a bougie
but-
shit. That's some bougie
sorry.
shit.
What do I know?
That's,
Not a
that's
damn
fucking-
thing.
I don't know anything.
You don't know
Not a damn
anything.
thing.
Get out of here.
I know nothing. Call me Jon Snow. All right. Next question comes from XX Sweet Tea XX or XX Sweet XXT. Do you have a way of determining the size of Pokemon when they're encountered, like in Legend of Arceus game? Because I think I have Pokemon of different sizes. Adds a lot to the world.
So this right here is one of those things
How big you want your bird?
where essentially they actually shout out to Blade Kelly in the Discord.
Great
'cause-
vampire
'cause
hunter. Oh, that too.
Blade put an answer in there as to the only time it's come up in game, which we asked whether or not Prince, the Nidoran that would go on to become Prince, would be bigger or smaller than normal. And at the time we rolled a D10 or D20 or a D100, sorry, there was a 10% chance that like Prince would be of a slightly different size. However, that was just an impromptu mechanic. That was not a consistent mechanic. We have not yet come up with a consistent mechanic for size. Other than Pokemon are the size that they're intended to be in the Pokedex, which some of those still blow my frickin' mind. Like, did you know that Graveler is only supposed to be 3 foot tall? Graveler and Golem is only like 4'6".
Can you imagine a Graveler doing like a rollout, just hitting your shin?
That would you would fucking bust your kneecaps.
Of course it would. That's terrifying.
would.
Oh man, that's it's scary.
But we haven't come up with a consistent mechanic for that yet. I know that some members of our Discord tossed out a couple like potential options that I really liked, but we haven't come up with a way to figure out on encounter. I mean, there is the on encounter D100 like percentile die that we could always go back to, but that also means that every time we run into a wild Pokemon, the professor has to roll for how big that
What
Pokemon
if-
is.
We just didn't, and then until it's relevant, then we roll it. That makes more sense.
Until it's relevant.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Because
We'll
it's like,
see.
hey, is this Pokemon small enough? Today it is. I don't know.
Today it is.
I think we can. We'll figure it out. But for now, it exists faintly. So we'll stick with that until it's again relevant.
Until
Makes
now,
more
we've
sense
only
to
come across
have
very
to be.
generic Pokemon. Very
Hey.
conventional Pokemon.
There we
Wow.
go. Conventional.
Wow, there you go.
Conventional's a better word. I was
Um,
offended at generic.
I meant
But
convention-
shout out
yeah, I meant,
Blade.
like the standard for their species.
For remembering those things and answering it in the little Q&A thing. Also, shouting out Blade, they have a question.
What's up,
would
Blade?
y'all be willing to make an artwork channel where y'all can post things from the podcast? I personally would love to see the Kanto map y'all have in the intro. Yes, we actually do have a Discord channel specifically for that called Art and Artist, where if you have fan art of the show that you want us to see, you could toss it in there. Or if we have something that is relevant to the show, like a map, Aaron can toss it in there. And you'll be able to see it there. And like, if you could see it there and like react to it with things, but try to have any conversations in the general chat, just because we don't want to fill up that chat with just text. Because although you can create art from words, that's not what is supposed to go in the channel. So
That's so true.
Keep it
So
to just
accurate.
pictures if you can. The translation of that is Matt doesn't want to read words when he's trying to look at pictures. It gets in the way. So we're just gonna make that easy for everybody.
Picture books.
I like big old pictures.
To answer the other part of your question real quick, though, by the time that this video comes out, you can go look at that map in the Art and Artist channel, and it'll be pinned there. It'll be there. That'll be where it's at.
Crazy.
Crazy.
That's so cool. Okay. And so other people have talked about that going there, being like they want to show fan art and stuff like that. Shout outs to Corn Fielder. I can't read. Again, that's why I like pictures. They were like, hey, some folks can draw and they might want fan art. So that's how we made it. It's pretty cool. The next question we have is by Trinom. Again, shout outs Trinom. Do you have a P.O. box? And we do have a P.O. box.
We do have a
want
P.O.
to
box.
send us something in the mail. That P.O. box, finding it now, give me a second. I don't know it off the top of my head.
And we're gonna cut to
do a cool 3D graphic here, Aaron. P.O. box, it's going to be a flat 2D image. I can already see it. P.O. box 201 in Leland, North Carolina, 28451. That's Leland, comma, NC 28451. P.O. box 201.
I also hate that we
Listed
know that
to
I'm editing
Unbeatable.
This. We know that I'm editing this because I do all the Q&As.
I'm not touching this footage
Yeah,
at all.
God damn.
But yeah, shout outs to the Postal Service and them having office boxes for people to use. And you can just address it at Unbeatable Cast and we'll get it. And then if for any reason we do have mail, I'll let them know and we'll open it in the next Q&A if it comes to that. We'll do like a cool little cheeky mail time. Fun mail time stuff. Anyway, let me get a
maybe
little
don't-
emoji here to
Maybe
respond.
don't send me things, because then they have to send it to the
Yeah,
UK.
don't send anything. Don't send anything to Burrty. It's expensive for us to ship shit to Burrty. We
Yeah.
gotta wait for him to come to America. He's got to Eddie Murphy in order for us to give him packages.
Okay.
But feel free to
Gonna
send
see-
these guys stuff.
Yeah.
Real expensive. Send Burrty digital goods. Send him art.
Let me. My PayPal is.
Cash app link right here.
It just leads right back to the Unbeatable Fund so we can get artist.
That's it. That's the whole thing.
Okay, Oni, shout out Oni, has a two-parter question.
Oh, whoa.
To celebrate Pokemon's sleep, what do you think the characters / Pokemon's sleep styles are? And I have a little link that I'm going to share for us to go look at the sleep styles. And then the second part of that question, while I'm getting this together, is what are the characters' favorite foods? That's good. That's a real good question. Think about that while I get this.
The character's favorite food?
what are your guys'
Like
characters'
Corinne's
favorite food? Yeah, Corinne's favorite food, Gavin's favorite food. Give me those.
Ooh. Well, don't we know what Gavin's favorite food is?
Oh, waffles. There we go. Easy. Haven't we answered this before? I thought we have.
I don't know. Maybe it's
I
changed.
don't
the last
remember
couple
it.
months.
Yeah.
Protein powder.
No, but I do think... I think Corinne's might be like a chicken parm.
A chicken parm? Damn, that's heartburn waiting to happen.
I'm thinking in terms of what I could see Seth eating on the regular. I would say either I was gonna say sushi, but that takes too much prep, which he'd be willing to do, and that's fine. But like on the road, something he could potentially make pretty often and easily would be like a
Rehydrated jerky.
no, like a poke bowl. I think would be pretty good.
A poke bowl for your Pokemon trainer.
Anyway, next question with the sleeping thing. Did you guys click on the
Well,
link?
I
How do
didn't
you guys
answer for
sleep?
Vermilion. Okay, never mind.
No answer for
Vermilion.
Vermilion.
Vermilion likes cold udon. That's
a
it.
stack of
That's all
money.
Vermilion.
That's what they.
Ooh.
Never mind. We'll move on.
Hey, you took the wind out of my
Hold
answer. I'll
on.
take the wind out of yours. That's how it
fair.
works.
There's no wind in these sails.
Because I have the sail. Okay, so what are your sleep types? Morning person, daytime person, nighttime person, dozing, snoozing, slumbering.
Our
I'm playing this
personal
stupid
ones?
game.
Or our characters or the Pokemon?
What do you think your character / Pokemon sleep styles are? So for characters, it would be morning / daytime / nighttime person. And then for Pokemon, it would be dozing, snoozing, or slumbering. I've been playing this stupid fucking game. That's all I'm going to say. I've been playing Pokemon Sleep.
I don't know the difference between dozing and snoozing.
And I'm going to tell you exactly what the difference is. This game shits on you for not having good sleep. So dozing is the like kind of sleep where you're kind of still awake, but you're kind of not. You're in and out kind of a little bit. Then there's snoozing, which is like medium sleep, where you're like, you're sleeping, but it's not deep. And then there's slumbering, which is the good grade A sleep that never shows up on my graph breakdowns because I don't sleep good. I don't know if my Gucci ass eye bags told you that I don't sleep good, but this app makes fun of me every morning for not getting slumbering sleep.
I think
Anyway, I have
Gavin
opinions.
is a daytime person for a start. I think he's not bad in the mornings at all. And I think he slumbers. I think Gavin is one of those people that hits the pillow and he's out.
I hate you. I hate Gavin. Gavin dies. We're done with Gavin. He's gone. Not allowed.
And Ava.
do-
Gavin and Ava of the. Yeah, Ava's just Gavin in Pokemon form. So
I do just want to say, I legitimately did just take this really quick quiz, and I got Squirtle. Stop. Makes me so happy.
I
Coryne?
took it for myself and I got a Diglett. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Ooh, interesting. Wait, is it because mine's daytime and slumbering? What'd you get?
Nighttime slumbering.
Ooh. So I think
I hate
Coryne is
all of you.
probably a morning dozer. I'd say that. And then Myrtle is definitely a daytime slumberer. And then Beatrix is probably a daytime snoozer, I'd say.
I'm physically offended by how many of these things get good sleep.
What did you get for yours, Aaron?
oh, I got Squirtle as well.
Do I tend to sleep through the night
take it.
without?
I think it's because of
waking
like
up.
how I answered the
No.
question specifically. I have terrible sleep in terms of like the time I go to sleep, but then when I do sleep, I can just wake up at a normal time. It's bad. I think the worst it had ever been was I think I went to sleep at like, and I put this in the answer, was like I think I went to sleep at like 4 and then woke up at like I'd say like 11. No, maybe like 11 or 10 or something like that. But and they were like, when do you feel energized? And I was like, when I wake up, like immediately right after that. Like I'm awake now. That's how I have energy. That's otherwise I wouldn't be in that way. But
I got Umbreon. Get fucked, all of you. I got the coolest Pokemon.
Damn.
it's probably like, dude, you need to
Damn.
go to sleep. What are you doing?
Shut up. That is exactly what it said.
do the share thing and put it in the spam so I can see it. Another question we have from War Greymon is because we're at the tournament portion, or we're getting close to the tournament arc of the Seafoam City saga. Good alliteration. Do us as the trainers have a specific team that we're worried about, a specific team that we hope to face, or what we specifically want to gain from winning, or besides winning? What do we want to gain out of this tournament? If anyone has anything off jump, what are we thinking?
I don't think there's anybody that Coryne is necessarily really excited to face. I know Coryne is this is going to be her first tournament, and she's really excited just to see all the different teams that come out. However, she's really nervous just to face any big flyers, or I think maybe like electric types makes her a little bit nervy.
Oh yeah, because both of your Pokemon that you're competing with are weak to electric types, huh? No. Beatrix isn't. Beatrix is for some reason in my brain.
electric.
Beatrix was a flying type. No, she's a poison type. Never mind.
Yeah, bug poison. So, but still a little bit nervy for that. And as far as what Coryne wants to get out of it, experience building with her team, and also some stuff that is coming that got dropped in an episode about some stuff.
Oh yeah,
But
we're building up.
Yeah, I don't think we could talk about that quite yet, but that is definitely a motivation.
We technically heard about it before we left the Pallet Town.
Yes, but the promises were not yet made.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, there weren't deals made yet. Which now there's
Yeah.
deals made.
No.
The
The stakes have risen.
Seth is worried about, and this is me, Matthew, bleeding into Seth as a character. There's 3 of us going into a tournament. I would hate for four of us going into a tournament. I would hate for any of us to get matched up against each other, because then that lowers our odds of collectively winning like as a unit. Because like if
Yeah.
one of us wins, we all win in our head. Is how I'm thinking of it, and so like I don't want us to have to go against each other. Unless it's down to like obviously the final. That'd be pretty cool. And then it's like, oh, it's back at the Pokemon Center again. And we just kind of relive history. But yeah, I think that's really the only worry he has. Otherwise, we don't really have like a villain or something like that, unless we just Graham all of a sudden be like, I'm here, and then
Then it's
Graham's like,
on.
I gotta go kill someone. So-
Then it's on. Fire extinguishers flying.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's footage of him participating in terrorist attack. If he shows
Yeah,
up,
I've
he's getting
seen
arrested, right?
Okay, Burrty, have you seen Pokemon? Jesse and James can wear anything and get away with it. It is not hard to disguise yourself as Pokemon.
That's very fair. That is very
You
fair.
make a very good point.
Bro puts a hat and a mustache on. It's like, James, is that you? No, my name's Joms. Oh, okay. Hey, Joms. Nice to meet you. It's like, what?
You got
My
no
name
James.
is John.
I mean,
You
the
got
thing
no
you gotta remember
James.
as well is that in the Pokemon anime, Ash and that team doesn't recognize Team Rocket either. So any of the NPCs we encounter could be Graham.
Actually, I was gonna make a joke, but you haven't gotten there yet. Fuck, we can't talk about that. Never mind. Haha.
To answer your question, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it.
I'm not worried about it.
I'm not worried about it.
I'm not worried about it.
My main goal is to blow up.
No, I don't think
Oh,
I
Act
will.
like I don't know
Unless
nobody.
Gavin's dad somehow shows up in the tournament, that's not gonna happen though, is it?
Do we even know about this?
Stop it, Aaron. You're scaring us.
I don't know why
You don't know what's
Gavin's
planned.
dad would show up.
TBH to the audience, this is
Horrifying.
a production day today. They have sessions to play after this. We're doing shit.
Next up to battle, Farmon Queensley.
Far because he's got a
It's just with a mustache.
Yeah.
He's just got a hat and a mustache.
it's your dad in a fedora and mustache.
Hello,
shows
son.
up.
I mean, son of a gun. You look like a challenger.
Real quick, I'm so proud of you,
Lord.
Matt, for remembering Gavin's character's dad's
job.
name.
Yeah, dog. Like I said, steel trap.
Takes me
Steel
a
trap.
minute.
Locked in. It's a callback from the live, not live stream.
That we did like 2
I
weeks ago.
proved how
Great.
smart I am.
yeah.
Anyway, guys, don't forget to send
Not
pictures
yesterday, 2
in
weeks.
the artist chat because I don't like to read. Next question we have is coming from one of our lovely patrons, Ivy. I have a question, is what they're saying. I'm paraphrasing. Anyway, Pokemon in different regions, are they rare because they people don't like travel there often enough to have them naturally occur in Kanto now for them to like come back? Are there laws with disturbing the ecosystems? If there isn't a law, is the reason why someone hasn't captured a few and found them in other regions to like breed or sell in Kanto, if there's like a law against it or something like that? To answer, I could say clearly there's not a law against it or anything like that. There's definitely like protocols that they have to follow because like from my family being a Pokemon breeder, don't give me looks like that. I
I know
let me-
Aaron's like,
let me
news to
cook.
me.
let me cook. But there's definitely like protocols that they have to follow to not mess up the ecosystem, and that is followed by. What do you want me
I'm
to
agreeing
answer?
with you. I'm agreeing with you. Keep going. I'm
That
on
doesn't
your
look like an
side.
agree.
I was
Guys,
like-
does
I
this
was
look like an agreeing face?
I would imagine
Yeah,
it's
sure.
That's
like,
not agreeing. That's not an
I would
agreeing face
imagine
to
it's
me.
like, nothing to declare at custom.
Yeah, you just have to be
Customs.
transparent with
You
like,
can
hey, I
bring-
have these many Pokemon coming in. That way,
Yeah.
if they just start seeing a whole bunch of Gibbles running around, they're like, oh, who's the last person that brought Gibbles in? Oh, was it Wake? Let's get Wake and then figure that
was-
out.
Check out,
I
you can
was
travel
agreeing
with-
with you fully.
You can travel with like a pack of cigarettes. You can't travel with like 30 cartons of them. But
So you're talking
you
quantity
can
thing?
bring like one Squirtle to Johto. You can't bring 50 with the intent to release them.
to be
Yeah.
to be 100%,
why?
Matt is almost 1,000% correct. Yes, there are not strict laws. There are protocols that you have to follow regarding bringing Pokemon into the country. Regarding releasing them or allowing them into the natural ecosystems, however, if you have to release them, they have to be returned to their region of origin. That's the only difference. That's it.
So
Good to know,
fun
good to know.
times, and like, who knows? That could even be a character's motivation for traveling to a new region, is that they were given a Pokemon that needs to be released.
Ooh,
And that's their that's my backup character. Don't steal it. Shut up, guys. So next
I'm
question.
sorry.
Damn
Did
it.
you just
Also,
become
Pokemon
that
smuggling is a thing.
No, I
fantastic
just
beast
realized
guy?
what my
What's
yeah.
his
I'm
name?
gonna be I don't know,
Newt's Commander.
Newt
Commander.
Newt's Commander.
Isaac Newton.
Shout
yeah,
out, Burrty. You and me.
Isaac Newton.
Shout out to that god awful series of films.
Yeah, could have been better.
Harry Potter sucks.
Yeah,
All
deal
right,
with
so next question's coming from Karma. Let me read.
From
quick.
Karma after you yell Harry Potter sucks.
The chameleon.
Yeah, I get great karma after that. Reddit would love me. Kidding, I don't care about Reddit.
It's the worst
Uh,
compliment you could
I
give
know, yeah, I know.
yourself.
It's so
Reddit
bad.
would love me.
Oh god.
I'm curious what the players are planning for their teams as far as their sizes. Do they recommend a team of 6? Do you plan to do more than that and interchange them periodically? That's pretty smart too. I'm asking as someone not naming names almost has a full team. Dang! Shots fired. Okay, so Karma asks if we as players have an idea for what our team will be, like team size wise. Do we plan to have more than just 6 and interchange them periodically while some are in the PC? They're asking because not naming names, Gavin, almost has a full team. Take that how you will. Let's start with the
I'll-
person we didn't name, Gavin.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a full team. What's wrong with having a full team?
Are you gonna have more than a full team and rotate
Are you gonna have
Pokemon
more than
out,
that?
or are you? What
I
are you
don't.
thinking?
I'm not sure I will have more than a full team. Mild spoiler, I guess. Queenie's still in the party at this point. I'm not certain Queenie's gonna make the final cut of the team.
Mhm.
We haven't
Ooh.
really.
This group ain't big enough for 2.
Two VB
Yes, you make it a great point for just the aesthetics of our group. We don't want to double up on Pokemon because it's kind of,
It'd be symmetrical.
You would. You could cap them at either side.
And
cap
I don't know. I haven't had much since I almost killed her, and then took her in. We haven't really had much roleplay. I haven't really gelled much.
Trauma.
Queenie, so I think Queenie might not make the cut. But yeah, I think Gavin's for sure going to have a party of 6. I'm not sure he's going to keep any in the computer because I always felt weird about keeping Pokemon in the computer.
Well, they don't stay in the computer in universe. In universe, they
Oh,
go
yeah.
to a ranch where they live their life and are happy.
Yeah, Professor Goat will be looking after them.
Yup.
So maybe in that case, maybe.
Okay. What about the other 2?
Go ahead. Nah, I saw you. I saw you.
Was that fucking surround sound?
That was- I think I have a plan for what I want my team to look like at the end of it. If I get more Pokemon, that's totally fine because I can just like have them help out at the daycare. So
That's
like
cute.
I feel like all my crew, they know what to do. But yeah, I think I'll probably soft cap at 6 if I feel the need to have more. I could have more. I practically have just gotten 2 more Pokemon that are going to be staying at the Pokemon Center, theoretically, if all goes according to plan. But for the most part, I think it's going to be just me and my squad hanging out with my other squad, being my friends.
Okay. And then Kenna?
Kenna can't keep track of anything more than the 6, and I think I'm gonna have trouble even focusing on that because I just love my Pokemon are my family at this point, and I've grown way too emotionally attached. Coryne has 2,
Sounds
so
like
that's
Fast and Furious over here.
a shared quality family. You know what family means? I would imagine, I don't know, Corinne's one of those characters where even though Pokemon sometimes don't hold an opinion, she's gonna ask what they want if she's not gonna keep them in the team, whether they want to be released or whether they want to be put in a daycare. I don't know if that's gonna, also, Kenna has zero strategy and zero idea of what the team is gonna look like, so it's really just flying by the seat of our pants here.
So I love that, first of all. But to give some look into the mechanics of the game as it's set up now, the game is set up to where you should be able to have any number of Pokemon, I think up to like 14 or 15, and still be able to get them to rank 10 by the end of the campaign. Because if you just travel between locations in this game only requires 52 days, leaving you about 190 days of non-travel time, whether that be campaign events, whether that be training days, whether that does a lot of things. Because remember, you guys are only, just over a month into this campaign. You still have 7 months remaining, and almost all of your Pokemon are at least rank 3 at this point. Yes?
If this is just me thinking of world building question, if I were to send a Pokemon to the daycare, would the daycare system, if it's not using it to like make an egg, treat it as if when they're there and they're like you're paying money for it, it counts as like a training day? Because they get
100%.
levels in
I'd allow that.
daycares, right? Okay, sick. Guys, send them to my family. They'll take care of them.
Nice.
Oh, you know
What a
Coryne
daycare is for. You're going to be paying daily rates for them, but yeah.
Pay for it if it's
Half
yeah.
price for me. Not for them. I don't know.
I don't know. A recent
I gotta live.
The,
I gotta live.
A recent conversation implied that you're not necessarily sponsored by your own breeding place.
Yeah, I don't need to be sponsored to leave them at my house.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. You're so right. You're so
I
right.
live here.
I think we got one more question left.
Last question comes from River. Is there plans to have rival characters, Graham? Not evil ones. Oh, never mind. Simply another reoccurring trainer group that may oppose the party in goals or ideals that are also participating in the league.
Yes.
Oh, okay, done.
There you go.
Thank you guys
Fire.
so much for being a part of our July Q&A. We had tons of questions in here. We hope that the next Q&A, which would be August, has even more questions. I think this is probably the longest Q&A we've had. So,
What are you talking
rack
about?
up.
Aaron cut that down to 20 minutes. What are you talking about? That's
Oh.
crazy. No, that's not what happened.
So if you have questions, throw them in there. If you have friends that have questions, have them subscribe to the Patreon and get in the Discord and then ask us the questions in there. That's easy. And then if you have anyone who's not subscribed to the YouTube channel, yeah, baby, you know what to do. Send them over to the YouTube and get them to subscribe. And then we'll have 1,000. And then those other questions that we didn't answer because we haven't hit 1,000, we'll be able to get it done. You know what I mean? So without being
Think about getting it done.
rambling further, do you guys have anything else to say before we depart?
Nope.